You know the creation story from Genesis, right? 7 days, a sequence of events we've probably heard since we were kids. But what if the order of those days isn't just a simple timeline? What if there's a hidden blueprint, a kind of literary code that changes everything we thought we knew about the story? Well, today, we're going to decode that blueprint. So is it really just an ancient day-by-day list of what God made first? Or is something else going on? What if the author actually embedded this really sophisticated literary design right into the text, hiding the real meaning in plain sight? Okay, so this has always been the classic puzzle, right? If you've got light on the very first day, what in the world are the sun and moon for when they finally show up 3 days later? It just feels out of order, almost like a mistake. But here's the thing, it's not a mistake, it's a clue. And here's the key to unlocking the whole thing. We have to stop reading Genesis 1 like it's a modern science report and start seeing it for what it is, an incredible piece of literary architecture. The author deliberately set up the 6 days of creation into two perfectly parallel halves. The best way to think about it is like a two-act play. In Act 1, that's days 1 through 3, God creates the great domains of the cosmos. He's essentially building the stage. Then, in Act 2, days 4 through 6, he comes back to those exact same stages and fills them with their inhabitant. And this is where it all just clicks into place. It's beautiful. On day 1, God creates the realm of light and dark. So what happens on the corresponding day, day 4? He fills that realm with the rulers of light and dark, the sun, moon, and stars. On day 2, he separates the waters, forming the sky and the sea. So on day 5, he fills them with birds for the sky and fish for the sea. And finally, on day 3, he brings forth dry land. And on day 6, you guessed it, he populates that land with animals and humans. It's a perfect, elegant symmetry. But you know, this incredible design isn't just for show. It's not just clever writing. It's making a really powerful statement, especially when you think about the world this was written in. You have to remember, for cultures all around ancient Israel, like the Egyptians and the Babylonians, the sun and moon weren't just lights in the sky. They were powerful deities. Gods like Ra, the sun god, were believed to control everything, from the harvest all the way down to life and death itself. They ruled human destiny. So can you see what the story is doing here? By sticking the creation of the sun, moon, and stars way over on day 4 as fillers for a realm that was already there, it's a total power move. The text is strategically demoting them. It's saying, these things you worship, they're not gods, they're just lamps. They're tools created by the one true God to serve his purpose. And the story does the exact same thing with another huge source of ancient fear, the great sea creatures, or in Hebrew, the Tananim. In the myths of their neighbors, these were terrifying sea monsters, these symbols of chaos and evil. But in Genesis, nope. They're just another category of animal created by God and totally under his control. The message couldn't be clearer. There is nothing in all of creation that is outside the Creator's power. And this whole theme of God establishing deliberate order over chaos? Well, it's literally woven into the fabric of the text, hammered home by one key phrase that gets repeated over and over again. 10 times in the chapter, we read that God created things according to their kinds. Now, that might sound like just, repetitive filler language, but it is so much more than that. It's a direct counter-argument to chaos. It's declaring that creation wasn't some random, messy explosion of life, but a purposeful act of creating amazing diversity within ordered, distinct boundaries. So when you pull back and look at the whole story, you see this incredible journey. The world starts out, as the text says, formless and empty. It's chaos. And through God's spoken word, it becomes structured, full, and alive. It's a movement from cosmic confusion to intentional design. But it's not just about creating a static, ordered world. God also imbues it with the potential for life to flourish and continue. And we see this pop up for the very first time on day 5, where something really remarkable happens. This is a huge moment. After creating the birds and the fish, God blesses them. This is the first time that word, blessing, even shows up in the entire Bible. And what is that blessing? It's the divine command, the divine power, to be fruitful and multiply, to continue the work of creation by filling this brand new, ordered world with abundant life. So when you put all these pieces together, the structure, the historical context, the repeating themes, it's just so clear, isn't it? The point of Genesis 1 was never to be a scientific textbook on cosmology. It was a radical theological declaration about who God is and who is ultimately in charge of the universe. Okay, so this is way more than just a cool literary puzzle from the ancient world. This blueprint was designed to say something really profound about the nature of reality, and it leaves us with some big questions for our own lives, right here and now. I mean, the whole story is about God bringing order, structure, and goodness out of something that was formless and empty. It kind of forces us to look at the chaotic or empty parts of our own lives and ask ourselves, where do we turn to find meaning and a sense of design? And that brings us to the final thought. The ancient text made this bold claim that the sun and moon are not the rulers of our destiny. So that leaves a really powerful question for us today. In our modern world, what are the things we treat like gods? Who or what do we truly allow to govern our days, our seasons, and ultimately our lives?